Welcome back. Time now 7:22 this morning. Residents in the 35th Ward can now vote on how they want to allocate more than $1 million in city funds. Joining me is 34th Ward Alderman Anthony Quezada. So thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So first I want to start with, what was your motivation for implementing this budgeting process in the 35th Ward?
Well, you know, I'm so honored to represent 4 amazing neighborhoods in the 35th Ward. I represent portions of Irving Park, Avondale, Logan Square, and Hermosa. And the 35th Ward actually has a very rich tradition of participatory democracy. So for the past 10 years, we've had a project called participatory budgeting, where residents get to decide on over $1 million on how to spend infrastructure improvement funds. So my predecessor did this, and it's something that I'm continuing in my tenure as alderman of the 35th Ward.
And in this voting, people as young as 14 are able to vote in this process. Why was it so important to include young people in this?
Because young people deserve to have their voice heard in government, but also get to learn how to make decisions collectively in their community. And it's for residents ages 14 and older, regardless of your immigration status, because every single resident of the 35th Ward should know and have a say on how to improve infrastructure in their communities.
And when we're speaking of improving this infrastructure, there are a couple of different categories to choose from. Can you walk us through those?
Yeah, so I actually brought a sample ballot here. So these are our official ballots. We have 5 categories. We have alley and street resurfacing, sidewalk repair, public art and beautification, bike lane infrastructure, and pedestrian safety. So residents get to choose 3 of the 5. After we tally all the votes, we choose the 3 winning categories, and then we have a volunteer committee that reviews the submissions that were submitted over the summer and then prioritizes the projects, and then we submit a menu to the Department of Transportation for implementation.
And when you're, I guess, going over these options, what are you also learning about some of the wants of your ward?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a whole variety of need. And I think, you know, what people have seen over the years, because I've been monitoring this program and working in this program for the past 10 years, you know, people, I think, are really seeing the impacts of something like pedestrian safety, for example, sidewalk bump outs, traffic circles, ways to reduce the velocity of vehicles, especially around our schools, our daycares, our senior centers, our places of public transportation, or our libraries. I think people really prioritize those kinds of investments because they actually see how it keeps people safe.
And you said this has been going on for about the last decade or so. What's been the reaction from local community members about this?
Yeah, so again, my predecessor, former Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, started this program back in 2015. People love to know that they actually have transparency and accountability in this process. It's very easy for aldermen to make these decisions unilaterally, but sometimes people don't trust their local elected official on what they're doing with that money. So this process provides transparency, accountability, and again, most importantly, civic engagement and participatory democracy.
If somebody in your ward is looking to vote, what's the deadline and how can they do so?
So the deadline is the end of this month, November 30th. They can vote in 2 ways. They can come to my office. We are located in Avondale, 2934 North Milwaukee, Unit C, or people can also vote online. We have an account, a link here, www.bit.ly/PB35 2026. So people can vote on a Google form like that.
What would you say maybe you're most excited about the next stage of this process?
Well, you know, after we collect all the feedback, we get to review that. We have a volunteer committee of about 20 different residents throughout the 35th Ward, and then we get to start investigating all the different submissions. So over the summer, we received over 180 submissions. So now we get to scan all the infrastructure needs and then prioritize them. Well, the volunteer committee prioritizes that. And then just by doing that, we get to learn more about our neighborhood, and we get to talk to more of our neighbors, and then more people get interested and more people get involved. So that whole involvement, the whole civic engagement is super valuable in our community.
So people definitely feel like they have a say-so in what's happening in their backyard.
Yes, and we're very proud of that.
All right, Alderman Quezada, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much for highlighting this important program.
All right.